This is a first look at Anthony Edwards' next signature basketball sneaker, the Adidas AE2. This shoe is a follow-up to the insanely popular Adidas AE1, a shoe which in many cases took the #1 spot on Sneaker of the Year lists. 1, because the price was very accessible, 2, because the shoe looked amazing, and 3, because it actually performed well on court. In fact, for the first time in a long time, people were excited about a basketball sneaker again. A shoe that not only looked great, could be worn casually or could be worn on court, but was also reasonably priced. Now that's not to say that there wasn't other good basketball sneakers out there, but the AE1 was different. It was special, and it was showing that Adidas still had it. It was also a representation of Anthony Edwards' rebellious spirit in the fact that he was willing to try something completely different and be overt in the fact that he thought his shoe was the best. But since it first released back at like the end of 2023, you had this regular sort of mid-top, high-top version, and then you had a low-top version, which was $10 cheaper and looked just as good and honestly was just as popular. In fact, the first few colorways of the shoe to release, both in the high-top and in the low-top version, completely sold out and were reselling. When was the last time that actually happened for a basketball sneaker? It's been a minute. And I'm not just talking about the first colorway of a shoe, because basketball sneakers have sold out the initial colorways because they're more limited, but I'm talking about the subsequent colorways. For months, this shoe was sold out and very difficult to get. So needless to say, the AE2 has some big shoes to fill. It's a weird pun for a shoe. So in today's video, we're gonna take a first look at the first colorway of the Adidas AE2, the With Love colorway, which I believe was the same name for the first colorway of the AE1s. And while this is not a full review, and it's definitely not a performance review, it is giving you guys some idea of the kind of materials that you're gonna be working with, how the shoe actually looks on foot and in hand, and how it compares to the original AE1 in terms of aesthetics and some materials. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So the packaging for the AE2 is relatively simple, and it seems like it's going to change based on the colorway of the shoe. The top of the box comes in this sort of matte black with these glossy black accents that actually mimic the AE logo, or Anthony Edwards logo right there at the bottom. The sides of the box, and I guess the bottom of the box as well, seem to come in the color that the colorway inside the box is. And then of course on the front of the box you've got the size tag. Now you guys know I'm a size 9. This is unfortunately a size 8.5. It was the only size that I could grab. The official name according to the label is Anthony Edwards 2. And the colorway of the shoe is written on the front of the box, but it's kind of mashed together, multiple words kind of jammed together. So I'm guessing acid aura, sea black, acid red? I'm not sure. Unfortunately, because this shoe does not release until October 4th, there's not a lot of information about the materials, the specs, or even the colorway yet. Speaking of which though, you can grab this shoe through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen or on release at Takeout NY, one of my favorite places to shop. Oh, also don't forget to grab the last core badge for last month's giveaway in the link in the description below if you've been grabbing all the core badges over there. With that being said, let's just dive into the box and see what we get. Of course, first thing you see is your co-branded paper, and then you get to the shoes themselves, which come with a tag, which is attached by a recyclable thread or string of some kind, and you've also got an extra set of laces, which comes in this sort of iridescent pink color. But man, here they are, finally having these in hand after seeing months and months and months of leaks. It's kind of crazy. I'm sure you guys remember, but the first leak that we saw of this shoe was like this. Like you only saw the very front of the sneaker. And because of that, people were not sure if this shoe was gonna live up to the hype of the original or be as good looking as the original. And I'm still kind of on the fence. Now, first impressions of the design. I've got to say, it definitely looks better in person. I've seen a lot of images of these, and I'll be honest, I wasn't completely impressed. I don't think it looks as striking as the original. Obviously, this colorway is definitely striking, but I think the design itself is not as appealing in my opinion, although you don't have as much tryptophobia as you would with the original, because you got all those small holes, and I get that some people don't like that. Totally understand that. But with this shoe, you've got more of like this, almost like a car vent on the side of the shoe, or maybe even like shark gills or something like that. It definitely still has that sort of nature-inspired vibe to it. Since posting the YouTube short a couple days ago, I did see a lot of comments of people saying that this shoe looks very Yeezy-inspired. And to be fair, I mean, the toe of the shoe looks a lot like the toe of the AE1s, which also definitely seemed like they were very Yeezy-inspired too. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think the Yeezy inspiration has definitely become a very Adidas look. And so while yes, it might be inspired by Yeezy sneakers, I don't think it is you know, a rip of any Yeezy sneaker. I mean, sure, the reflective material on this shoe does look a little bit Yeezy Quantum, but everything else about it, it's different enough. I'm not trying to go soft on Adidas here or anything. They didn't give me the shoes or anything like that. I'm just being honest. I just don't think it's that much of a Yeezy rip to be a problem. Now, in terms of the materials that make up this shoe, on the toe of the sneaker, you've got a lot of TPU. Now, the outsole actually wraps up onto the front of the toe right there, but around the rest of the toe in the sort of mud guard area, you've got a lot of this sort of light orange TPU material that does surround this black TPU, which is the vented sort of area, like I was mentioning. And it seems like in these little holes, you do have some sort of mesh, which maybe is a bit more ventilated. However, it doesn't really matter because you do have a gusseted tongue, and the gussets kind of cover up where the vents are. So I don't think you're gonna get a huge amount of ventilation through these ventilation holes, is I'm assuming what they're supposed to be. As you move back in the shoe, you get to this sort of knit black fabric, which feels pretty standard, and actually also looks just like the black fabric used on the AE ones. It seems like it's the exact same type of material. It's not really a knit, it's not really a mesh, it's just kind of this, I don't know, tech fabric? I don't know what to call it. Not especially soft, not rough, also not like breathable specifically, but not bad. Now it does seem like on this midfoot panel of the shoe, which actually comes in the same material as this black material, except in a bright lucid pink, as I think it's officially called. This material seems to only be backed by a very thin underlay, which actually has these sort of holes through it, or sort of dots on it, which means that this sort of midfoot area could be a bit more breathable. I mean, it's still like a solid material, but it's not gonna it actually lets light in. Maybe I'll film a little bit with my phone and show you guys what I'm talking about. Like, you can definitely see light coming through it, which means that there must be some breathability in there. Maybe not a lot. Maybe it's just a somewhat translucent material, but it seems like it's gonna be more breathable in the midfoot than in the forefoot of the shoe. Now, what's kind of cool about this material here is that it's got these ribs that seem to be heat pressed in, and they actually mimic the Adidas 3 Stripes logo. I think they're a very similar angle to the logo, which I'm pretty sure is on purpose. So you do get a bit of a subtle Adidas hit there. I'm assuming that's what the intention was. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it looks like the exact same angle. If you look at the Adidas logo right there compared to these, very, very similar. Now, it does seem like the fabric actually wraps over onto the midsole. This bottom part is pretty stiff. You've got this heat pressed overlay that separates the black fabric from the pink fabric. And of course, towards the back of the shoe, you've got some more TPU paneling. There's a lot of TPU on this shoe, very similar to the AE ones in that regard. Actually, there's less TPU on this shoe than that shoe. Now, I did like the containment of the AE ones, but you don't have this TPU panel on the side of the shoe that kind of holds you in place there. But I'm assuming these do something for containment, is my guess. I very quickly tried the shoe on, as you guys can see in the on-foot shots, but I haven't played basketball in it, so I don't know how much it actually contains your foot. Towards the heel of the shoe, the yellow TPU kind of continues and mimics the shape of the front half of the shoe. You have carbon fiber. Well, it's actually not carbon fiber. It's like this hard black TPU that's sort of pressed with the carbon fiber texture, so that in light it looks like carbon fiber, but it's definitely not actually carbon fiber. That seems to be the external heel counter that provides some containment in the heel. On the back of the shoe, like I've been mentioning, you've got the Adidas logo right there in that same sort of lucid pink color. But now actually moving into the shoe, one thing you'll notice is that the tongue actually goes all the way down the front of the shoe, unlike the original AE one, which only went down halfway. Now, the reason I like that is because it's so much easier to get your foot into this shoe, like significantly easier. Like I mentioned, this is a size 8.5, so this is a half size smaller than this shoe, but still this size 9 was harder to get on my foot than the 8.5. And that's because this tongue can really flex all the way out, which is nice. I'm sure some people prefer this more like contained feel, but for me personally, as someone who wears these shoes casually, and I've played basketball in at least the AE ones, it was much easier for me to get my foot into the shoe, and it still felt like I was getting the lockdown that I needed. The tongue itself is pretty well padded. You've got this sort of neoprene-like material in the middle. You've got the AE logo right there. This time around, it's sort of a 3D logo. It kind of pops off the tongue, versus on the old one, which is just knit into the tag. It's actually not knit, it's actually pressed onto the tongue. It's like a heat press detail, or a small TPU detail or something like that, but this one's actually like a full-on 3D one. One thing that I definitely noticed about this shoe though when I tried it on is that around the heel you've got this chunk of padding that really sits right underneath your ankle, and it's like very, very noticeable, more so than even the AE ones. Now, it's something that could pack out the more that you wear it, I'm not totally sure, but it was very noticeable. It sat right underneath my bone, and I think for some people they'll like it, some people they might not. Now, it did help keep my foot in the shoe even when it was loosely laced, which was nice, but it is something that I can understand that not everyone will like, but it is just a huge amount of padding. Now, there does seem to be a partial booty construction in this shoe, similar to what you had in this one, except it's very, very low. The tongue is actually connected to this back fabric area, the sock liner area, with this low netting that does seem to run all the way around the inside of the shoe, but it's very low, and it still allows for a lot of flexibility in the tongue. So it is a partial booty construction, but sort of not at the same time. It's really interesting. Let's pull out the insole. I actually haven't done that yet. Let's see. So the insole comes in black with the Anthony Edwards logo, and then you've got what seems to be an Ultra Boost traction pattern, or a boost traction pattern. Now, I don't believe that this shoe actually comes with boost. I think it comes with light strike. Am I right about that? Or is there actually boost in there? I'm not sure. It does kind of look like boost. According to this article from Hot New Hip Hop, shout out to them, the shoe features a midsole using lightweight foam with hints of light strike and light boost cushioning. So it seems like it's sort of a mix of different foams. Now I gotta see if it's softer on foot than the AE ones. Gotta find the hardest bit of floor in my studio. Honestly, it feels really similar. I almost would say that the AE ones are a tad bit softer. Now again, this is the original version of the shoe. The low tops come with boost. This one, I would say, feels softer, like a tad bit softer in the heel, but it wasn't overly noticeable. Now again, these are technically budget sneakers, so they're not gonna have like the softest foam in them, and that's okay. And what I noticed with these shoes is that the fit is very similar to the fit of the AE ones. Now again, it is much easier to get into the AE 2s than the AE ones, but this does feel like a true 8.5, at least for me. So I would prefer to have a 9 in these shoes, definitely, but I didn't mind an 8.5, and that was mainly because it was easy for me to get in the shoe. Once you get in though, this heel padding does kind of push you towards the front of the shoe, so for me there wasn't like a huge amount of toe area. And again, it's because I went down a half size because that's the only option I had, so maybe this isn't the best sizing comparison for you, but I will say that my guess is, based on trying on the size 8.5, which is a half size down, and the way that it felt, I think these shoes are true to size. But hey, maybe listen to someone who gets a pair in their size. But other than the shoe being a tad bit small, it felt fine otherwise. And again, so much easier to get into this shoe than this shoe. Like this shoe, I really had to jam my foot in. This one, threw my foot in, good to go. But now let's move to the bottom of the shoe. You've got this pretty simple sort of one herringbone traction pattern. Underneath you can see the torsion board or torsion plate, which does kind of prevent torsional twisting, of course. You've got Anthony Edwards logo right there in the middle in this sort of pink color. Compared to the traction on the AE1, it is a bit simpler. It's all flat. It doesn't have these sort of bumps like this one had. It is still the same sort of like triangular arrow pointing towards the front of the shoe, but there is more contact with the ground. So honestly, this might stick a little bit better, but who knows? Traction really depends on rubber compound. It depends on the thickness of the lugs on the bottom of the shoe. It depends on a lot of different things. Obviously the court that you're playing on, the dustiness of the court, there's a million different things, but this is what it looks like. So overall, how do I feel about the AE2? Well, I have mixed feelings. I do feel like there are some pretty nice improvements in terms of fit and in terms of getting the shoe on. That's the main improvement, I think personally. In terms of function, the fact that you can just slide your foot in, you're good to go. So much easier to wear casually, so much easier to just get into when you want to get into it. Those are huge pluses. As far as actual on-court functionality, like I said, I haven't played in these yet, so I don't know. They don't feel as contained on the side, but maybe that's not going to be an issue. Maybe this TPU sort of arm or fang or whatever this is does kind of lock you in enough. I'm not sure. Design-wise and visually, I don't mind the way that it looks. I do think it looks way better than I expected, especially based on those leaked images, but do I like it as much as the AE ones? No. Now, I don't think it's too far off. I mean, the shape of the shoe is really similar, but in terms of like style, it's fine. I just don't think it's just not as good, in my opinion. I really just don't think it's as good. It's not as unique, it's not as different. I don't know, I wish they had kind of kept this pattern on the side of the shoe or done something a bit different. I do feel like it's got sort of hardened vibes. The fact that it's sort of just this wedge that kind of goes straight back like this. The original one kind of had a more standard shoe shape. Maybe that's what I like about it. Also, it's a tad bit lower than the original. The original is like maybe half an inch higher. I mean, it's not like there's any support that you're getting from up here, so realistically it doesn't make that much of a difference, but visually, it is like a half inch higher. So if this was a mid, then this, I guess, is even more of a mid. Let me know your thoughts on this shoe in the comment section down below. Do you like the AE2? Do you prefer it to the AE1? Are you going to be grabbing a pair of AE2s? And what are you most excited about? And what colorway do you like the best of the AE2s? So let me know all those thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you all in the next one.